Hi everyone! Today I'm going through my favorite gears that I can definitely recommend to all photographers. If I started my photography journey all over again, I would definitely buy these gears again. First is the vintage lens and adapter. Getting into vintage lenses are by far the best thing I've done since I got into digital photography. I always disliked the super sharp photos that almost feel like a computer graphic. That's why I shot with film for so long. Then I found out about the world of vintage lenses. And with an adapter like this one, I can fit a vintage lens on my Sony full frame camera. Of course, my first vintage lens was the ever so popular Helios 44-2. It is known for its swirly bokeh, and when you shoot wide open, the lens produces soft and washed out image that is only mildly sharp in the middle part of the photo. With the highlight roll-off and soft image, gives almost like a film look to your photos and video clips. I love to shoot with this lens, and I brought it to Japan and really experimented with it. So if you want to see how it performs, check out my Kyoto and Tokyo videos. After the Helios, I got this Vivitar 28mm lens. And this one is known for its beautiful flare. Wide open, it doesn't produce as soft image as the Helios, but it is still soft and produces beautiful images that can replicate the film look. But in case you want to shoot some sharp images, all these vintage lenses stop down to f4 or f5.6 become pretty sharp, so you're not permanently fixed into soft images. One advantage of vintage lenses are that most of them are very cheap. Helios cost me $70 and the Vivitar cost me $40. And this Mir 1B, which is like a 37mm version of the Helios, cost me $90. And I have the Nikon lenses from my film photography days, which is the kit lens, so it doesn't cost much. And because it is a vintage lens, it will hold its value in the second-hand market. So you can try a lens, and if you don't like it, you can sell it for the price you bought it. It does come with a catch though. All vintage lenses are manual focus lens. I came from film photography, so the transition wasn't that hard, but you will learn that the focus peaking for Sony mirrorless camera is only about 80% accurate, because it overestimates the lens hyperfocal distance. So it is harder to focus with your lens, so it definitely needs some getting used to. And one warning with the adapter is that you should get a modern lens adapter with the coating inside the barrel of the adapter, instead of getting an old adapter just to save a few bucks. Because if you do, you will get light reflections when you're shooting into the light. Next up is black promise filter. This second gear always stays on my lens, day and night. With the vintage lens we were talking about earlier, we were essentially trying to go away from the very digital look and was going for a cinematic or a filmic look. This filter helps this process by softening and blooming the highlights. So instead of getting a harsh, sharp sunlight, it will have a soft roll-off, which helps to reduce the harshness of digital images and creates a more organic filmic look. If you shoot portrait with it, it softens the skin tones as well. If you watched my channel, you would already know that I'm into night photography, and black promise filter really shines at night. When you have this on your lens and shoot at a light source, instead of the highlight stars, it creates halation around the artificial lights that creates a cinematic and moody look to your photos. I personally think that this is an almost essential to all photographers and videographers. I love it that much. My recommendation is to go for the weakest strength. See how you like the subtle look. Then maybe go for a stronger strength. I personally have the 1/8 strength because I like the non-obtrusive, subtle look of it. And when you purchase this filter, buy it to fit the largest lens you have. And you can buy a step-up ring on your smaller lenses to fit the black promise filter on your lenses. Step-up rings are these adapters you can attach to your lens to fit a different sized filter. Next up is Loupedeck Plus. Loupedeck is a keyboard for photo editing. If you have been in the photo shooting hobby for some time, you will pick up photo editing and it can be a very fun process. After a photo shoot, you end up spending more time in front of your computer editing photos. This Loupedeck Plus really makes that process quicker, easier, precise, and more enjoyable. You can custom assign every button and dial to suit your editing style. But even straight out the box, this console has you 90% covered. This control knob can be used to open up cropping. L1 can be pressed to bring up masking brush. There is undo redo button, and you can adjust the hue, saturation, and luminance of all the colors. And you can copy and paste with press of a button. And when you first open up your catalog, you can press the tab button to rate your photo at 5 stars and mark all the 5-star photos, and later come back to edit only the 5-star photos. Also, adjusting values by small increments can be pretty hard on a mouse, but editing with Loupedeck knob, adjusting the value one by one is very easy. There is a small learning curve, and you can't do everything on this Loupedeck, like adjusting the S-curve. But as you get used to it, you almost never have to look down at your keyboard while editing. It becomes second nature. It has become an essential part of my workflow. At first, I was a bit hesitant buying this. I bought one used for about $80, and it is a purchase that saved me tons and tons of time. And again, it is not only about saving time, it has made editing photos really enjoyable. It will be the most efficient photography gear you can buy. So if you're into editing photos, I definitely recommend the Loupedeck Plus. Next up is DJI Action 4. I used a GoPro before switching over to Action 4. I think if you have used a GoPro, you might have experienced small glitches here and there that took away from your user experience. I won't go into too much detail about bashing GoPro, but long story short, it glitched a lot and it died on me. DJI Action 4 has no glitches so far, no lost moments, and has unbelievably clear image in day and night. You just set it and forget it. I had it on for the duration of the battery life, and while it did get a bit hot, it did not die or stop recording. I expected great images from daytime images, but if you live in a city where the streets are brightly lit at night, it will perform amazingly well at night too. I took it out in rain, snow, day and night with no problems. I filmed all my POV videos with the Action 4. If you're looking for an action camera, I cannot recommend this enough. I bought this magnet necklace. I just put one end inside my shirt and put the DJI Action 4, and I'm ready for POV videos. Next up is a tripod. One of my favorite genres in photography is nighttime photography. I love shooting long exposures. I was once very passionate about shooting at night, and I still go out on rare occasions to shoot at night. Whenever I'm traveling, I go out at night with my tripod to start shooting the night cityscape of the city that I'm traveling in. Setting up your tripod also slows you down and makes you be more meticulous about your composition. It is a slow and intuitive process that I really like. I personally have two tripods, one which is super sturdy and heavy, which I'm using right now to shoot this video. And the other one is made for traveling, and it is small and light. But shooting with a tripod I often see myself coming back to the lighter tripod. I never had a tripod fall on me, but it could happen. So if you will be standing next to your tripod all the time, then get a lighter one. If you sometimes step away from your camera for whatever reason, then maybe you should opt for a heavy and sturdy tripod. So this is all I have for today. Is there anything you would like to add to the list? I know that the wrist strap and neck strap from Peak Design is super popular. How is your experience with that? Please let me know in the comments. Until next time, take care.